Hello everyone, today we're going to check clauses. This is something that you are going to hear in a lot of lessons, okay? A lot of lessons, especially for intermediate and advanced students, you're going to see a lot of the times that the teachers are going to tell you, oh, this is a noun clause, this is a relative clause, this is an adjective clause. So you're probably wondering, what is a clause? That's what we're going to see today. Clauses, in general, are structures that possess a subject and a verb. So if a group of words have a subject and a verb, that's a clause. Okay? That's a clause. For example, I sleep. It has a subject and it has a verb. So this is a sentence. So this is a clause. She has a family. She has. That part is the subject and the verb. A family is the object in this case. So all of this is also a sentence. Okay, remember you need to have a subject and a verb. So in all of these situations, for example, here you have a clause. This is also a clause. This is also a clause, and you have another clause here. You can have multiple clauses in the same sentence, no problem. Okay, you can have multiple clauses in the same sentence, no problem. But remember, some clauses are sentences, but not all clauses are sentences. Okay, for example, we saw a movie, it's a clause, but in this case it's not a complete or independent sentence. This has more elements. As you see, you have a second verb and a second noun, subject. The same thing here, and the same thing here. So remember, sometimes clauses are sentences on its own, and sometimes clauses can be part of a sentence when you have different parts. So you have two types of clauses, independent and dependent clauses. Okay, independent and dependent clauses. Independent clauses, as the name suggests, are ideas that are independent of anything else. They don't require assistance. They don't require help from other sentences. Okay, normally they can work on their own. For example, here I can say, I sleep. Because that's what I do. People do that, right? I sleep. Simple. And on the contrary, we have dependent clauses. A dependent clause, as the name suggests, is a clause or it's a part of a sentence that requires help. It requires support. Okay, it needs another sentence or another expression to give a complete meaning. For example, in this case, when I am tired. So the idea of dependent and independent clauses here is very simple. An independent clause is an idea that could be a sentence, independently of anything else. I sleep. That's it. And a dependent clause, it's a structure that possesses a subject and a verb, but it is not a sentence. It requires another part so you can give a complete idea. So you can see the difference here. Independent clauses they possess a subject and a verb, and an independent clause expresses a complete idea. Okay, for example, I sleep. That's a complete idea. It's a complete sentence. Technically, yes, but if you want, you can give more context. But if you say I sleep, it's logical and it's grammatically correct. Usually these are sentences. But on the contrary, we have dependent clauses. Dependent clauses also possess a subject and a verb. I am. But this type of clauses, a dependent clause expresses extra details. Okay, it's extra details. It's extra information in a sentence. Okay, it's extra information. I sleep when I am tired. I could technically say, I sleep. Yeah, that is a sentence. Or I can say, I sleep when I am tired. Yes, this is also a sentence, and this section here is giving me more context. But if I just say, when I am tired, That's not a sentence because, okay, when I am tired, what? What happens? Even though it possesses a subject and a verb, it's not a sentence. A lot of the times in our English classes we tell you, yes, your sentence has to have a subject and a verb. And it's true. But having a subject and a verb doesn't necessarily imply that that's a sentence. It's possible that it's something like in this case. I sleep when I am tired. Okay, so remember, usually dependent clauses are extra information of the sentence. And this extra information can have a lot of different natures. I'm going to explain the different types of dependent clauses in different videos, so don't worry. So, to sum up, in general, dependent clauses are structures that have this form. You have either a conjunction or a relative pronoun, a subject, and a verb. More or less in general, this is true. Okay? You have a conjunction or a relative pronoun, and a subject and a verb. The different types of relative clauses or adjective clauses or noun clauses are going to have different conjunctions and different relative pronouns. But remember, a dependent clause in general terms has a conjunction or a relative pronoun with a subject and a verb. Okay, that's the essential thing for dependent clauses. Normally, what is the use of this? We use dependent clauses to explain additional information in a sentence. Okay, we give extra information in the sentence. For example, we will pass this class. That's a complete idea. We will pass this class. But if I want, I can give you extra information in the sentence. And this possesses a subject and a verb. Okay, so it's extra information in the sentence with a subject and a verb. Okay, usually they are part of the complement, but not always. So if I say, yeah, we will pass this class, that's a complete idea, but if I want, I can give more context. I could say, we will pass this class if we study and practice. So you see, I am giving you extra information. I am telling you the condition for this statement. Or I can tell you, well, we will pass this class because we're great students. That's the reason why we're going to pass this class. Oh, we will pass this class before we start the next one. Okay, the next cycle is going to be a different class. So yes, that's logical too. I could say, we will pass this class once we take all the exams. It's another condition. We will pass this class that we are in at the moment. What type of class? Well, the type of class that we are in this specific moment. So you see, these are different types of dependent clauses. Okay, these are different types of dependent clauses, and I am going to make separate videos for the different types of dependent clauses we have here. Okay, so that's it for this part. Remember, a dependent clause is extra information you give about something in a sentence that possesses a subject and a verb, and it usually has to have a relative pronoun or a conjunction. In this case, these are conjunctions, and this is a relative pronoun. What's the difference? Well, we're going to explore those differences in different videos. So that's it for now. Please remember to wash your hands. Okay, remember also to give a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps, apparently. And that's it for now. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.